Hey, what's going on? Mathew, Tamin here. Let me ask you a question. If you can learn how to build your own streaming portal like a YouTube, a place where you can upload your videos and you can make those videos for free or paid, a place where people can be able to come in and get access to all the content that you've created, would you be interested in how to do that? Well, in this course, I'm going to teach you step by step how to build a streaming portal just like YouTube. Before we get started, I just wanted to kind of clarify a few things. YouTube they've invested so much money and time and technology into building such an awesome, website. So while this is going to help you to build something like, you have to understand that it is going to have certain limitations because one, the amount of time that is going to require to build that is just too much. I might do a course later on for that, but the goal of it is you see how this layout is here. And as you can see from my watch, I watch a variety of different topics, just to stay abreast with what's going on, around the world. But the goal of it is if you have videos that you want to showcase like this, we're going to create this whole section like the home, trending, subscription, and some of these here. Now, as I mentioned before, the watch later, your videos and all this here, this are features that, I might do a course later on to show you how to incorporate those features with it. So before we get started, I just wanted to clarify a few things. Now, I want to say that, YouTube, they've done a tremendous job of the investment in terms of time, money to build such an awesome site. So this tutorial, while it's going to show you how to build something like that, YouTube has invested a lot in the technology. My goal for this is I just wanted to show you how you can build your own portal. Let's say you have a lot of videos like myself and you put some on YouTube, but you want to, let's say, create a membership section, something more personal. This is a great way to do it. Now, there are scripts that you can be able to buy and you just put it up and you put the videos. But sometimes those can be so cumbersome. They have so much going on that you end up getting frustrated because you don't know where things are and it's just too complicated sometimes. So I want to show you how to simplify that process. And in doing so, we're going to create this sidebar here. We're going to put a logo up top, the sidebar where you have the home, trending, subscriptions. Now, all of these I will, for example, with the subscriptions, there is a way that you can be able to build your own subscription website, but I'm not going to cover this in this particular video. Maybe in another course I can do that. And the library, all this, I'm just going to create some of these links here and show you guys how you can be able to do it on your end. But again, when you click on it, you're gonna be able to click on it because you would have to, do some more work and it takes more time. And I just want to get you guys going first. And then you see this filter up top. We're gonna create the same filter that you see here. We might do a search. I'm not sure. We'll see. And all this stuff right here, this is a little extra stuff that they have that we may or may not do those. Okay. So if you got a lot of videos and you're excited about this, let's get going. But before we do, one thing too, I'm going to be going back and forth with this YouTube page and building this stuff so that we can track and see how we're doing. All right, so let's go now to Balboa. What I'm going to be using to get done, of course, is Joomla. I'm not going to go through the Joomla installation process because I have a lot of videos that go over that. And I'm going to be using the Gridbox. Gridbox is a page builder, e-commerce ad blogging app. It has so many great things that you can be able to do with it. What I'm going to show you is just part of it. So I'm using the pro version of it. So I would definitely recommend that you get the pro version of Gridbox because it's going to give you a lot more features and a lot more that you're able to do. And you can use your videos from YouTube or from Vimeo. Okay, now if you want to do this on a professional level, what I mean by that is I would recommend that you get your videos to Vimeo rather than YouTube. But for the sake of this course, I'm going to be using the YouTube video so you can just grab yours for those that don't have a video on Vimeo. All right, so enough about this now. Let's get started. So make sure, of course, that you've downloaded Gridbox and then also the gallery. This is another extension that we're going to be using to build it, the gallery. And the gallery is for you can use it to do a lot. One of the things that I always do when I look at extensions is what can I do that's out the box? How can I stretch it? So the gallery gives you a lot of things you can be able to do, and we're going to go through that here. And again, I'm using the pro version of it because the pro version gives you so much more to do. It's only $28 for for the Pro, so I definitely recommend that you grab that as well. So once you have those two things, you already have to have Joomla installed, which I already have. So I'm gonna open up another tab and then log into my site. So I'm logged in on the back end of the Joomla website that I'm gonna be doing this on, and I've set up my environment. Me and Alfred installed Joomla, and I don't have to do it again. And I've also installed the extensions that I got from here. If you don't know how to install extensions, you go to extensions, install, then you just drag and drop, or you can get it from wherever you download it or download it to once you've paid and gotten it from here. So I'm gonna going back and forth between Balboa, going YouTube, and the site. So just keep up. So the first thing we want to do is, after you've installed the extensions, you go to components and you want to go to Gridbox. So once you've successfully installed Gridbox, you get something that look like this. We don't have anything created yet, so let me give you a quick overview of the back end. You have the dashboard, you have the pages, all the stuff that you created is going to be there, and you have your themes. And with your themes right now, this is the default. You can check the settings for it, or you can click to upload theme. When you do that, it's going to show you different options. So if you want to start with the theme and you're not sure, you need some design inspiration, or you want to just use one of these and customize it, you can do that. You can also click to download it. You can click to view it. But we're not going to need the themes now. I just wanted to show you guys where that is located. And of course, you have your import export here. So what we're going to do now is let's go back to the dashboard, and we're going to create a new page. And we'll call this one, let's say, YouTube. And the default is set to Gridbox. Click on next. So with the dashboard, dependent on what you have in the menu, yours may or may not look like this. But if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, don't worry about it. We'll get that fixed and sorted out. Now, these are menus that I already created on the back end, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment. All right, so now just a quick overview for the back end. This is the save. This is where you add the page block. Page block allows you to add items. So instead of recreating certain sections, you can just get it from page block. So we'll take a look. When you do that, you notice that you have the cover. So you can drag any one of these and just put them over, and that saves you a lot of time to be able to build your site. So you have the about us, you have services, description. So as you scroll through here, this helps you to build websites a lot faster. So if you wanted something, you just drag it and you put it over there. But we're not going to be using this right now. I just want you to see how it looks and where to get it. Call to action. Okay, so this is simple. And then you have your library. This is where all the stuff that you've done, like your sections, you can create custom sections. In other words, when you're building your site, a section allows you can use that same site over and over again instead of having to recreate it all over. And then of course you have your plugins, and you have your hidden elements, things that you've hid. And then you have the keyword shortcut. So this is really great because if you want to save, you press S. If you press the keyword shortcuts here, it saves you a lot of time with this. So that's a really great feature that they added. And then of course you have your dashboard that you can go back to. And over here you have your responsiveness test. You can test for the laptop, tablet, landscape, phone. And you can, your tools here, there's the media manager with all your photos and the font library. So your videos and all that stuff can be right here. And then your page, you have your settings. You can add this particular new page that you're created to a menu item, which we'll take a look later. You can add a new page. You can see all the pages that you have. And then you can work on your theme. You can change the background color. You can change the font size. You can change a lot. Okay, so this is just some of the basic things that I wanted you to be familiar with. You can change the font type for the entire site, for the H1, H2, and so on, and all that cool stuff. And then this is your site details. So this is where you put like your favicon. If you have any scripts, you can put the header script here, like your Google Analytics or any scripts that some sites gives you to put. Sometimes like the chat bot, you want to put a chat on there, you can put that here. And then of course your media manager tells you the type of files that's allowed. And you have your layout. There's the container, there's the pixel. You can change that later on, and you can also disable responsiveness. And you have your breakpoints for each device here. So there's something that you can change that, but by default this works really great. And then as you put your mouse over each section, you notice that you have different things you can be able to do. You can edit wherever you put your mouse on. You can edit. You can add new plugin. Now plugins, these are elements or different things that you can be able to do on your site. So let me delete that. As you scroll down, you can add an accordion, a button, a carousel, scroll down. So these are all the different elements that you have access to, and you can also add third-party plugins, Joomla, the forms, Balboa forms, and gallery. So we don't need those just yet. And then once you put your mouse over, this controls this entire section, so you can change the sections from here. So that's pretty much a quick overview of the back end of Gridbox, which is really simple and easy to navigate. So let's go over now to the theme with the background color. You notice as I'm changing, it changes the entire thing. So if I go here, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna be creating, since we're creating multiple themes, we can start off first with the white and just leave it as it is. And then we're going to create the other themes once we're done with this one here. So when we go to YouTube now, my settings is set to, of course, the black background, but we can definitely, change that. Matter of fact, let's do this. So let's just change it to black now. So now everything is black, so we can adjust the text, the fonts, everything accordingly so to show up. All right, so we'll change that. And no overlay. We don't need an overlay right now. So let's just X that off. So let's go over to the page settings. That's the title. This for the SEO, publishing. So this looks okay for the alias. I'm just going to leave it as YouTube clone. All right, just X off. Okay, so now we have that basic stuff set up. So what are we going to do? So let's go back to YouTube. As I mentioned before, we're going to be going back and forth between these two just to kind of get close to it. So this is how it's laid out. So the first thing that we want to do is let's start by working on the side navigation here. Okay, so we're going to create just some of the menu items here, and we can do that by going here. So when you put your mouse over, you notice that you have this little cog here, and you click here to add new row, or you can edit. So since we already have this menu here, we can move the menu, but before we do so, let's go to the back end here of Joomla. So let's go to menus, and let's just click on, we want to create a new menu specifically just for this. All right, so the new menu, we're going to call this one YouTube menu, and then we'll put the menu type YouTube menu and description YouTube menu, and leave it as site. Let's click on save and close. So I'm just going to drag this one over right here. Now, when we do that, you have to locate the YouTube menu. The way you can do that is on the message page once you've submitted, or you can just go to menus and then you can locate and then click to add new menu item. So now the YouTube, the first one that we have, this is the home. So we'll create the home, the trending, and the subscription. So let's do that first. So let's create home, or you can call it start. Sometimes you may already have a home page. So if you do, Joomla is going to let you know that you already have a home page. So for now, we're not linking this to anything, going anywhere just yet. So click on menu item type, and let's go to system links, and we're just going to put the URL. So for now, we'll just put in test or whatever. It's not going anywhere, so that's okay. And then the next one we want to do is we want to click on save and new. So we'll have home, we'll have trending, and then we'll have subscription. So notice I mentioned before, I already have a home. So I'm going to change that from home to, let's say, start. You can call whatever you want it to be, save and close. Now, the good thing about this is that you can be able to, I lost my train of thought. I'll probably get back to it later on. Okay, so, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so you can be able to create a section that members only, and you can create a section for the public. What I'm creating now is going to be for the public, but there is a way that you can be able to hide it so that way only subscribed members get access to the content that you create. So we'll have start. Now let's go to trending. I think I already have trending here, or instead of trend, yeah, let's say trending 2, because I already have something that's called trending. And I'm going to do the same thing. I should have copied that. So let's just go to URL again. So I can call this, let's put a little test, and we'll click on save and new. And let's say we have this one, subscriptions. and we're going to repeat the same thing over. Go to system links and URL, and let's put test again. The reason I'm just putting test because we're not linking up to anything just yet. So let's see, let's add some more here. So we can either create one section here and two sections, or we could just put everything in one for now. Okay, so let's just leave this like that, and let's click on save and close. So what we've done now is we've created this section, this top section here. So now we're going to create the other menu, which is this section right here. So I'm going to create it and then just fast forward to it. It's the same process as we did the first one we did. So I'm just going to go through here and just go to add new menu, and I'm going to call this one YouTube links, and then save and close. And I click. Now we can start to add the menu items on there. So this part is done. We now have all of this links right here. You could also move the links up or down if you need to, just by clicking here and dragging it up. All right, so that's done. So now we can go to the front end here, and we are going to make some moves. So right here, we can take this. First, let's go right here and let's click to add a new row. And we want this to be 1. And we're going to just take this right here and just drag this right over and just drop it over there. Now, don't worry about how it looks like this. We can fix that. So you click on edit, and you can, let's see, go right here, data protection. Okay, so let's do this instead. I'm just going to click X off here and just come here. Let's just delete it. All right, let's delete that. So once you've deleted that menu here, one of the things you want to do is let's go back to the back end here. You want to go to menus, and you want to go to your menu manager. We forgot to assign a module for this. So what we're going to do is I already assigned the one for the YouTube menu. Next, you want to click on the other menu that you created, which is the YouTube links. You want to click on add a module for this menu. And we're going to call this one, just call it the same name, YouTube links. And for position, we're just going to position 2 here. And we'll go to save and close. So now you see this module here. So let's go back to the front end. So after assigning the module, the next thing we need to do now is we need to go here and let's type in menu, and we're going to grab the menu we just created. So now you have the YouTube menu and you have the YouTube links. So we're going to get both of this. Let's grab the YouTube menu first. So we'll have that now. Let's X that off, and let's come and add another plugin. And let's grab the other menu, which is the YouTube links. So now we have both of these, and you see how YouTube, move this over. You see how YouTube have their section here. So we're going to section these. Okay, the first one, let's work on the first one. Let's click to edit it. And you see this is a horizontal position. Let's change it to vertical. So now you have it set up like that. But that's not done yet. So let's go over to design. Now you can select the type here, but we're just going to leave it at the navigation. And we want to make sure the alignment is to the left. So now move the alignment to the left. Don't worry about the space. We'll work on the margins later on. So once you've done that, you can change the icon. We're going to put icons later on. You can change the icon size. And you can go over to the mobile. All that's checked. Now on the mobile section, this is how it's going to be. On the right, you can also designate where it closes. So we can put that there on the left. It can close on the left as well, and we can come back to that later on. So I'm just going through some stuff here. Okay, so now we have that there. So let's go to the color. So you see as you move your mouse, it changes the color. So we want this to be white. So that looks good. And we don't want to change the background or anything like that yet. So we'll leave it as that. So now we're going to add the little icons. If you look at YouTube, they have this little icons on the side of it. So let's do that. So let's go on the first one, start, or whatever you named it. Click to edit, and let's click on the icon. And when you click on the icon, you have several options. You have material, you have define awesome, and then you have this custom one here. So you can choose from anyone, but let's search first. Let's start off with the font awesome. So we can search for different icons, and this is where the fun part comes in. So you don't have to use the exact same ones that I'm using. Let's say you want to go to this one. You can choose to use something that's closer to this, or you can use this one here. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to grab this one. I like how this one looks. So click on save. So now you see it pops up right there on that side of it. We're going to adjust the size and everything, you know, later on. Let's do the same thing too for the trending. So with the trending, I'm going to put in here fire. Is it fire? It's not in that one. So I got to come to this one. So let's use this fire and then click on save. And then for the subscription, they have to play. Now this is where the fun part comes in. As I mentioned before, you can choose any icon that you want. So I'm just going to just choose different things here. So I like this one, play and save. That's the closest thing to what they have. Okay, so if that didn't come up, okay, so there it is. Now it came up. So you have to play there. So we've done this first section here, and that looks good. You can change the font, you can change different things on there, but I think that looks okay for now. Select X off, and let's do the same thing for this part. We'll click to edit, and we're just repeating the same thing. Let's make sure this is vertical, and for the layout, let's make sure this is centered to the left, and for the mobile, make sure it's centered to the left. We can change all this, the colors and everything later on. So we want to do the same thing now. We want to go over to the library and choose different icons. So I'm just going to choose different icons for this. So you feel free to choose whatever icons you like. And then when I'm done, we can pick up from there. Okay, so now I completed the rest of these here, and all the icons as we're having on YouTube is looking good. So now let's see, what else do we want to do? So we'll have those there. Now, like as I mentioned before, the subscription, all this stuff here, you know, I'm not going to put all this for now, but just want to get you started. So this is good. Now, one thing we notice here that it's too close to the left. So we need to move this over a little bit because it's too far. And make sure you save your work as well. So now let's go and we're going to move that over. So let's go over to here, the design, scroll down. So what we want to do is we want to move this over to the left. So if I put in 1 right here, you notice how it shifts everything too much. Well, that's just too much, right? So we want to kind of play with this number here. Let's try 25. So 25, if you notice the first one, the bottom one is moved over a little bit. That looks pretty good. Same thing as YouTube. It's not touching the edge. So we need to do that. So 25, mark the pattern here. That looks good. And let's go to this one. So we're just going to change the margin here for this one to put this to 25. So now that lines up pretty good. So next what we want to do is let's try to, you know, close this gap here a little bit. We can always adjust that later on. So you click to edit. Let's go to layout. So now let's try to adjust the bottom. Okay, so we remove the bottom to 25 and close the gap a little bit more. Okay, so we can work on that stuff a little bit later on. For now, let's see what else we want to do. So let's go back here to YouTube again. So the next thing that we need to do now is we want to be able to get our videos like this. And as I mentioned before, all this watch later, we're not going to be having all this stuff incorporated with it. I'll show you a simple way how to do it. So with YouTube, when you click on here, it opens up a new window, right? But what we're going to do that's different is that we're going to click and it's going to do a pop-up of the video. So let's do that. Let's go to components and let's go to gallery. Now with the gallery, this is where you have the option to be able to create your videos. You can import them from YouTube, from Vimeo, and you can use any embed code from any website that gives that to you. So you can click on new. I've already created some here. So you click on new and then you put your gallery name. So call this one like YouTube and you click save. And then you click on, you got to create a category. So you can call this video links or whatever you want to call it. You click on save. Now I've already done this. I just want to show you how you can do it so you can follow along. And then from here, this is where you can click on this little camera here. You can choose upload from folder. So when you upload from folder, it's going to upload from the items that you have on your site. So if you don't have certain images, you want to get it from your computer, you can just click to upload, or you can click create folder and then you can upload the items into that folder. So you can click to upload just to upload the images. I've already done this part. Or you have the option of going upload from desktop. When you do that, you can go directly to your desktop to upload certain photos that you want to use. So I'm not going to do that. So let me go back now to the ones that I created so I can show you. So I'm going to go to coaching bottom. So I'm going to go here because this is when I created. Now, what you would have to do is you need to create a thumbnail. So let's go, for example, here, the business one. When I click here, it's going to show you a thumbnail. That's, where you can upload through this process of clicking here, and then you can upload from your computer. You can choose the name, you can choose the alias, you can put a short description. So I'll put a short description. You can put an alt, image alt for SEO. You can put some tags here. You can use the color, and you can add an alternative image. I'm not going to do that for now. And then you can click to edit description. You can click to insert a link if you want to. This is where you can put your link. So if you wanted to link this to an external page, let's say somewhere else, you can do that. But I'm going to leave that link like this. Let's say even if you wanted to just put in your thumbnails and just have everything linked to YouTube, you can click here and just grab the YouTube URL or whatever URL you put here, and then click to new window. So it's going to open that in a new window. But I'm going to leave this for now like that. So let's go over to the embed code. This is the embed code that I got from Vimeo. You can go on YouTube and grab an embed code. And if you don't know where to get the embed code from YouTube, you go to any video. This is one of the ones that I just published. You go over to the video. At the bottom you see share, and you see embed. You can just grab the embed code. You can adjust it based on how you want it to be. This is the code that you're going to need here, and once you've done that, you just copy and just paste it on here, and you're pretty much good to go. So you got to create your thumbnail with like Adobe Photoshop or some type of editing software you can use to create it. So once you've done that, the next thing you want to do now is, I'm just going to X this off, is we want to incorporate that on here. Now with YouTube, they have this filters right here. So let's do the same thing too. So let's go here and let's click to, let's do an add-on, add a new plugin. So we'll do a plugin, scroll all the way to the bottom. You see where it says Balboa Gallery. We're going to incorporate that. So when you click on it, it's going to bring up all of the categories that you've created. And I've created a few here, but the one that I need is a coaching bottom. So now when I do that, you notice it pops up. And again, the goal of this, we're trying to create a simple version of what YouTube has. So right now we're doing pretty good. This is showing up like that. So you notice with your mouse over it. So when I click on there, it gives you this pop-up, and I can leave comments. We'll take a look at the comments later on. People can be able to leave comments on here. So this makes it a little more personable. So this is how this one here looks. And I actually imported my playlist from Vimeo. So the reason why mine look like this is because I copied the embed code. You can also embed playlist, which is really great. So instead of having uploading each individual video, you can create your playlist on YouTube or Vimeo and then just embed it so people can just watch it along, as they go. So now and also they can click to share, they can click to, to love it, they can extend the screen like that. It takes the entire screen, and they can just X off. So now we've gotten this look going. So let's just click save here. So we have this look, and it's coming along pretty good. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move this logo, just drag it over and just drop it up here. So we can change that logo to something else later on. We have two options here. We can keep it how it is centered right here, or we can go to edit, and we can matter of fact, let's come to this part here. So I'm trying to get it to be full width. Now when you do full width like that, it drags over, gets a little bit closer to this, but you have more space. So move this over. You have more space to add things here. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it like this, but let's go back to the gallery here. So all we have to do now is we just have to create a few more of these to fill up this whole section here. So as you can see right now, it's stretching end to end, and the way that you can do that is you would have to go to settings, thumbnail, And where you see the image width, you can adjust this. That's what I've been doing. Just adjust it until you get the size that you want. So right now it's set to 780. So let me see how, I'm just gonna put 700 for the image. Now the image quality, this is good to leave it at, you can increase that more, but the higher the percentages, the slower that your page load. So just keep that in mind. So if you put it to 100, the image quality is going to be good, but it's also going to be really slow. So I'm going to set this at 700 and just click on that and then click on save. And then I'm going to refresh this page. So once I refresh it, now you still see it's right here. So I can come in and just kind of play with these settings here. If I were to take off the image, you notice it's still right there. If I were to take off the full width, let me come here. This is something that you can kind of mess around with. I'm just going through to see different ways to kind of adjust it. So you put back the full width, then expand. So I'll just leave it as that for now. We can change that again later on. So we have this now. This looks different here, but I think this looks here a little bit more simpler. You put your mouse over and you're probably wondering, how do you get this to show up here? Now make sure that you put the title, you put the description here. Now it's not going to have like the number of views and how long it's been there. Like you can change some of those settings on the back end by going to the gallery manager, and we can choose the settings. This is where you get to play with a lot of the settings. So sometimes you have to try different settings. You have to go through and just see how it looks. Let's go to thumbnail. We can have that at justify, or we can say let's try a grid. See how the grid looks. Scroll down, we can go to caption. You can disable the caption. You have the caption effect. Do you want to show the title? If you disable it, then the title for this it's not going to show. Display category. So I'm going to take that disable category, and right now this is the business. That's the category that it's in. You can keep that or you can leave it. It's up to you. You go to the light box when it pops. Enable alias. So you have to go through the settings. Right now I have this check here. You can keep the settings that I have for the social share. You can display download if you want people to be able to download your videos. You can go to the navigation. You can go to the comments. Now with the comment system, you have discuss, you have this contact, and you have none. So when you have discuss, you have to make sure you put in your username for that. Okay, whatever username that you have. I set up a demo one here just to show you guys this, and then your compression. Let's leave it at that for now. And do you want to enable filters? So yes, let's go to filters. And how do you want the filters to line up? You want it to be left, center. So we'll keep it at the left, but we can change that later on. So the colors. All right, so now we'll have that. Let's just click on this so you can see what that looks like. So when you have the filters, this is where we can add in a few more categories. Okay, so this one now is relationship. I can call this one networking, and let's create another category. We'll call this one marketing. You can call this whatever you want. I just want to show you how it's going to look with the filters on there. And then filmmaking and music. Okay, so we'll have these now. Let's click on save. So when you go to the front end, you don't always see that. It's not going to show up there yet. So let's click to refresh this page. And once you refresh it, voila, you have the same tag system here like YouTube does, right over here. And the beautiful thing about this one is that you can click on each one and it's going to show you the videos or everything that you have for each particular category. So let's say we go back here. Right now we have the business, we have this, we have the networking, there's nothing there. We have the marketing, filmmaking. You would have to upload content to this in order for that to work. And then what I'm doing now is just adding some of the tags so we can see what those look like. We're going to even mess with some of the colors. Now this is where you come in and you get a little creative. And you can always check back and forth and see how things are going. So we'll have this filter set up. You can add some more to stretch across up here. So let's do that. So let's add a few more of different categories here, and just going to click to create. I'm getting a little tongue tied here. Now let's take a look on the front end and we are going to see what we have. So right now, these are the ones that we had. Let's refresh it and see what we've got. So as you can see, the tag just spreading across. I think we're going to add a few more. I just want to add a few more just to give it that same look of stretching across like this. So now that we have this part, we can be able to, we just have to clone it. And it's going to look pretty good, but it's come along pretty good, right? So let's go to YouTube here, That's come along pretty good. We'll have the similar setup, and we have a similar setup here. And this, you want to create something that feels more personable, so people come and they just feel like they just know you, right? So that's one of the goals when you create a website, is you want it to be very, very simple and easy to navigate. So far so good. Everything is coming along great. Let's just go now to edit the footer, and we'll change the background. Let's make the background, we can leave the background as this, or we just make everything just black. So now we have that black, and with this social icons here, I'll just leave those for now. We'll come back and we'll see if we're keeping them or if we are getting rid of them. So one of the issues that we had before was this hair was stretching out too far. So if you had an issue where there's too much space at the bottom, you want to go back to your gallery. You go to settings, you want to go to thumbnail, and you want to change it from grid to justify, because grid gave it too much space at the bottom. So if you had that issue where there's too much space at the bottom of it, then you want to do that. So what we're going to do right now is let's clone and copy this. We're going to just copy it, and let's go to edit. We can change the gallery, so I have another one's created. Just click here, and I have coaching top. So let me go back here. I'm going to see what I have in the other one. So I'm going to click save and close. I'm just going to check to see in these ones here what items do I currently have. So let's check out coaching main, and the goal of this, I want to replace this top with this bottom with something else. All right, so I chose this coaching top. So what we're going to do is let's go here and choose coaching top videos, and just like that, you notice that the videos have changed. Now it's these here. So let's come, and that's one of the beautiful things about it too, is that you are able to showcase your videos how you want them to be. Now with this one's here, I'd have the filters. You notice there's just 3. That's because I have just 3 videos in here, but I can add so much more to it. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to just click on here and just click to add new. So what I'm looking at now, I wish they don't have a way to duplicate it, because that would have been so much easier, save you so much time. So now we have to go through here, and let me just copy this embed code for now. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to click here and upload from desktop. So I uploaded those 3. I can just put the title for this one, make a decision, and for this one here, I'm just going to put in speak your mind, and you need a game plan. So I'm just putting the description for the title for these. So I finished putting a description for those. Now I just have to, let's save it here. And now we'll add it, since we added the other videos to it, you notice that it has this look. So this one has 4, and this one it has 3. You can change the number of videos in the column here just by simply going through in the back end. So let's see something here. So this one, we can go back here. You go to settings. That's what I mentioned before. You can kind of play around with the settings here to see how you want it. So when you go to pagination, it shows you here images per page. So this one is set to 16. So it's giving it like an even 4 for each. So we can set this one to, let's say if we set it to 3, for example, or we can set it to 9. Save. And let's see what that looks like. The goal of it is, I'm just playing around with the different settings here, but some of you might like this look. You move your mouse over, put the thumbnails, and you can be able to have it how you want. And don't forget to save your work. Sometimes I'm doing things and I refresh and then forget to save it, and it's not always good. I have to redo some things over, so make sure to save your work. Okay, so we can add more videos if we want to give it that specific layout option. Let's go back here. So as I'm testing out the different settings, which is something that you have to do here, you notice that it's changing as well. So I can have all of my videos lined up and use this filters as a way to show different videos. So when you click load more, then it's going to load extra videos. You see here we have 3, now we have 4, So what I'm doing is I'm just going back here with the pagination and I'm just changing different settings. So I'm going to keep this one here. I'll just keep it at, let's say, I'll keep it at 4 for now. If we add more, then we can be able to change that on. So this is what it looks like. It's going to give you 4. It's going to remove this option here. Let's refresh it again. So now when people click, they can come here. They can click to watch your videos. And you can continue to add more. So with this one here, if we add, let's say 3 more, and then we click on load more, it's going to load some more. Or as I mentioned before, you can utilize these tags here based on what you choose. That's what shows. So far so good. It's coming along pretty good. So that's pretty, you know, like the basics of it. Let's see what else we've got here. So that's the core basics. You have this, and then of course these links here at the bottom, you could also add the links at the very bottom there. So one cool thing too that we can add at this very top is if you wanted to say sell some ad space. So let's just go ahead and add a banner. Let's just add an image. So I'm going to grab this banner that I have and insert. So now you see the banner showing up right there, and we can just move this. Let's see here. We can move that up like that, drag that up, and just drag this up again. So now it's at the very top. So if you wanted to say you wanted to sell some banner space or something like that to generate extra revenue, you certainly can. This banner, let's move it over. So now it's to the right. We can put it in the middle like that. You can have bigger banners. As a matter of fact, you can have something that covers this entire section with a banner on there. And you can also have the links. So let's see how that looks. Okay. So that's one option right there. You can put this banner for ad space, you know, right there. Another option you can have is, let's take this off here. Another option you can add is you can put one main video at the very top. So let's just delete. I'll leave that banner for now. Let's see what we'll do with that later on. So I'm going to come here and I am going to add just one big video at the very top. So let's grab a video add-on. So with the video, now I added the YouTube video ID and show the control. So now you notice that you have this one big video at the bottom. Okay. So if people want to, you know, like a theater type feel. So I am going to move this one. I'm going to move this one up, and then I can move it up. So it's at the very top. So now in a way people come, they can be able to see this video. This may be too big for some, but if this works for you, we can also just remove. Let's delete this banner ad for now. So there's the one video. People can be able to come here. They can watch. Let's make sure that we're saving it. So it looks okay. If you wanted to go with this format, if we come here now, we'll go to edit and we'll say let's change from full width. Now this is what you have. So it's no longer full width, but it's actually showing up like this. So this can work. Maybe this can work for what you're doing, or if you want to get the full width effect, you do that. So it's pretty much up to you. I'm just going to give you several options, and then you can pick and choose the one that you want to go with. So for now, let's put this back here to a full width, and we can just, you can keep this top section or you can delete it. I'm just going through it and see how this looks. So right now, this is what we have. So everything's coming along pretty, pretty good. So I'll just delete that video at the top. So now we want to see what this looks like on the front end. So when people, what are people actually going to see when they're looking at your site? So one thing that we can do is let's connect this to a menu. So we can go to page and let's go add this to menu. And we'll call this one UT or YouTube. And we're going to leave it. You can click this drop down to choose the menu that you want to connect it to. Right now the items on here, that's the YouTube links and the YouTube. So I'm going to put this over here, and let's see, we're going to put this one. I'll just put it to links for now and just call it, YT, and then click on save. So once we go to the front end to see what the public sees, this is exactly what they are going to be seeing. So what you have to do is you have to go, remember we created this add to menu, And whatever name and wherever you put it, you just go to the URL and then you put in that link, and it's going to show just like this. So now people can be able to come in and they can start to watch. So now let's change this logo. You click there and I'm going to grab an image for it. So I've added the logo right there. You can replace the logo with your own as well. And so everything looks okay. So at this point, what you pretty much want to do is just make some adjustments to it. So I'm going to the front end. This is what it looks like. This is what people are going to see, and they can click to add more. What I did was just added some more links to more pictures right there on the back end. So what I want to do now is, you notice here there's a lot of space at the very top. There's all this gap. We need to get rid of that gap. So to do so, you scroll down to the bottom and you see this little edit. You click on the edit right here. And then you go over to the layout. Yeah, so the layout where you see the margin top, we're going to click on the down arrow. While we're doing that, let's scroll up so you can see the space and just kind of calculate, see if that's how you want it to be. So from the bottom, so I'm just going to keep going. And as the numbers go higher, you notice that it's going up. So the goal of it is you want to get this down up till you feel like it's okay. So I'm going to keep getting it down. Let's go to 100 and see. So it's okay. I'm trying to line it up. You see where this logo is? Want to line it up to that. So we'll probably have to go a little bit more. Okay, so that looks about 125, looks about right. So now let's click on save, and we're going to review it on the front end, see how close we got. So there you have it now, this nice layout right here at the very top. So there you have it. It's flushing with this section and this section here. Everything looks pretty good. Now another thing to that you want to do is I'm going to move all of these items here over to one menu. So let's do that now. We'll go over to menus and let's go over to, I believe it's the YouTube links. So we're going to take all of these. Let me move this over right here. So we're going to take all of these here and put it to this menu so everything is just one. So to do that, instead of doing it individually, we're just going to do a batch move. So click on batch, and you want to go to move. You want to find the YouTube menu, so you can type that in YouTube, and we want to add it to the YouTube menu. So add it to this menu, and don't change anything else. So we're actually moving it. So where it says, do you want to copy or move? So we're moving them. So let's click to process. So now there's no links here anymore. So we've moved all the other links to this part here. So everything. So the reason for that is you notice this little space. We're going to get rid of that space. So let's refresh this now and see if it got closer. Okay, so now it got closer here. But the only thing is we would have to go back now and add those icons again, which is not a big deal. So let's do that. You notice the icons are gone. And I love icons, so that's not a big deal. Let's do that. But before then, let's just refresh this page so it'll reflect the new menu. So I went ahead and I added all the icons there. Save. So now let's go to the front end and see how it looked. And you have all these beautiful icons just like that. So as you scroll through here, everything looks pretty good. Of course, you can do so much more work to it. You can do a lot. And one of the things that you can do is you can create a portal like this where only your members get access to it. And you can really customize everything. You can do a lot of tweaks, a lot of changes here that when people sign up to whatever you're doing, then they can be able to get access to your, whether it's your, your courses or anything like that. But it's very simple, and you can be able to make the user experience very pleasant. One thing that I always keep in mind when I'm designing my websites is I want things to be simple so that when people are browsing and getting access to it, they're not frustrated, they're not confused, everything is right there. And as you can see with this one here, everything is pretty much, right over here. I can click this to watch, go to the next one, and everything looks good. If I want to upload more, just click to see more, and they can be able to watch a whole lot more from there. So there's one more thing that I wanted to do in this video, and that is we need to change the background color. Like YouTube has to have a feature where you can be able to get, different, like the white or the black. So this one is the black background. So now let's get a different color. So to do so, you go to your dashboard and you go to your pages. And then you click on, let's say I'm clicking on this one. The goal of it is I am going to be cloning it. So all the changes that I've made here, I'm satisfied with so far. Of course, you can always tweak some things later on. And so I mentioned before, because this is not a dynamic sub, but this is like more manual, you have to do it this route. So to do so, you click here and then you go to duplicate. So now I've duplicated this, but it's not published. So I'm going to click here to publish it, and I am going to click it so I can edit it. So keep in mind, this is the original version, which is black. So first, let's remove this menu here because we don't need that part anymore. And let's go over to themes and colors. The brand, let's see here. What color do we want to change this one to? So let's see, what colors do we want to change it? So we have options here. Okay, we can change this sidebar. Let's say we want to change this sidebar here to a little bit different color. Because when you look at the YouTube one, this sidebar is just not the same darkness as some of these here. So it stands out a little bit. So let's go and see what we are changing. So let's go to background here. And let's go over to color. Make sure we drag this one all the way up. And you notice that's already been changed right there. So we're going to go something like this. You can go with some sort of black, kind of push it right there. So the goal of this, you just want to differentiate. You see that margin right there? So we can push that up like that. So send a little bit. Now you have that section that's saved right there, and it looks a little bit different. All right, so that's the first modification that we can do here. If you want to customize, you can even make it a different color if you want to. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is that you can create so many different color variations based on whatever you want. So I'm just going to keep it at that. Let's keep it over back at this darker color. Right, let's see here. I don't know, I'm just playing around with this. Okay, so that can work. I like how that looks there. So that's one option. So if you add an overlay, then it gives it a little, you can kind of adjust the opacity of it, or you can just bring it all the way down and it looks, so I leave it like that for now. Or we can even change that to, let's say, a blue. So this is where I like that blue. Okay, so this is where you really come in and just have some fun. Let's see what else. So we can leave that as that. And then let's work now on the background here. So we can come here, click to edit. And let's say we want to go to this background, and let's change this to, we can put a gradient. It's going to give it a gradient like that. We can put in a color. We can, you know, make that all white like that. And this part at the bottom here, we can also, we're going to leave it as that black, or we can change it. So let's see what we're doing here. I'm just going through, and you can change these to whatever colors that you want. So that black and blue doesn't look too bad. So you scroll and you have the black, the blue, and then you have this black here at the bottom. We could also change this. Let's go to the background. Let's go to color. So now that's the black. So we want to change that to something else. But I'm just messing around with the colors here. As you can see, there's so many flexibility or flexible ways to get this done. Just experiment and see what other color combination that you can be able to come up with. So now this is how the blue and the white looks. Not bad. And for whatever branding that you want, you can definitely rebrand it and change the color scheme. Like this bottom part, you can also change that. And but I just wanted you to see how that looks as you have different colors to experiment with. So now we have the black, and we have the white. This one, and two different themes, and you can create as many other themes, color schemes that you want to. You can have this top section one color and the bottom section another color. That's pretty much up to you. So now we have 3 different themes that we've customized with just simple clicks. This is the first one, the black one, and then this the other one, and this another one. Again, have fun, play with the colors. There's so much more that you can do to expand on this. I just wanted to show you how to get started. You can take the ball and just run from there. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, there's so much more to do. And if you're looking to learn Joomla from scratch, or you want to be able to build awesome websites, you can definitely check out my masterclass. Has a lot of great stuff there. And this is a live training too. So I actually get to work with you on a one-on-one training, and you can see what I'm doing and kind of learn how to take your skill set to the next level and build and create incredible and amazing websites. So I look forward to working with you one day.